paused, like she took a deep breath and her cries get worse. I mean, something hate to happen, folks. Then she tell me like, folks.
Then thinking about like, damn, O wasn't even closest to the shooter, BJ was, fact. And O got hit with all the shots. And it was just like, damn, bro, it was sad, man. And then T-Roy was right there with him his last little moments. And T-Roy, and then T-Roy said that O was like, damn, they got me, bro. Like, that was his last words.
Folks was a gangster. He was real savage. He was real solid.
Odee was one of the first ones that was really out there with the guns. He was really shooting, really blowing.
January 12, 2011. A gang feud was building up to the point of no return. On that tragic day, a young man by the name of Shondell Gregory, known by his peers as Tuka, was shot and lost his life.
15-year-old Chanel Gregory was shot in the 500 block of East 63rd Street. The boy was on the street when a suspect got out of a vehicle and shot him multiple times. That gunman got back into the car and fled west on 63rd. Police say Gregory was on the scene. The incident is possibly gang-related. No one is in custody.
Tuka was at a bus stop on 63rd in St. Lawrence, in the Woodlawn neighborhood in Southside Chicago, with two other witnesses awaiting a bus. A dark-colored vehicle pulled up. A passenger who was wearing a half mask jumped out and shot Shondell Gregory, aka Tuka, several times about the body. According to law enforcement, Tuka was a known member of the Gangster Disciples, and his assassination was retaliation for the hit of a Black Disciple affiliate. That particular incident would become infamous as a pivotal moment in the gang feud in Chicago, and even more for the life of a Chicago native by the name of Odee Perry. August 10th, 2011. It was a regular day in the neighborhood, as it pertains to the youths accustomed to the dangers of the region in which gang territory has been the cause of many altercations. People were on their normal commute along Kings Drive, where the Parkway Gardens were situated. Some walking, driving, others riding bikes up and down the street past Sammy's Grill and restaurant. No one could predict the tragedy which was about to transpire.
But yeah, people used to come up and down that strip from STL to O Block, or EBT to O Block, or Vernon to O Block, or to King Drive. Because that's like basically where O Block was. That's like our whole strip.
Odee Perry was one around that area on that day. It was night time. Odee Perry was out and about in the neighborhood. He was no stranger to the area, as many knew him to be someone with great respect and notoriety in the gang culture.
Everybody looked up to him. He was one of the ones from back then. Beating up. Everybody was scared of Odee.
Odee was often described by his peers as quiet and to himself, but behind the calm demeanor was a silent killer who was often actively involved in criminal activities that injured and stole the lives of his rivals.
Odee was one of the first ones that was really out there with the guns. He was really shooting, really blowing.
His many mugshots tell of the consequences that come with walking this risky path. However, this particular lifestyle is the reason why he was in harm's way. Sooner or later, it's the end results of many youths led astray by the gang culture. Mix this with his affiliation to the Black Disciples, an opposing gang to the Gangster Disciples. He became a prime target of revenge for the assassination of Tuka. The night lingered on. 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. Odee Perry decided to go to the store and got on his bike and did just that. Him, along with his friend, entered the Swisher Sweet store. 11:34 p.m. Odee Perry exits the store, gets on his bicycle, and begins riding northbound on MLK Drive. Moments later, at 11:35 p.m., shots were heard ringing out throughout the area. His friend would look out of the store in the northbound direction which Odee Perry rode off towards. That's when he saw Odee fall from his bike onto the ground before getting up and attempting to escape, only to fall back down after around 10 more shots were let off. A key witness at the scene further described what happened thereafter. According to his account, he saw Odee Perry riding northbound as well on MLK Drive on his bicycle. but also noticed an African-American male standing near the bus stop, along with an equally colored female and her child. As Odee Perry approached, the black male stepped out and shot him, causing Odee to fall back from his bicycle. At this point must be where Odee Perry would have tried to recollect himself and flee, but as stated by the eyewitness, the offender continued his pursuit by approaching Odee, shooting him again before fleeing eastbound on 64th Street. According to the other gang-affiliated members at the time, like reformed gangster J. Hood, one of Odee Perry's friends named T. Roy, was present at the time, trying to keep him awake and alive after being shot. He alleges T. Roy was the one who heard Odee Perry's last words. "Damn, they got me, bro."
O wasn't even closest to the shooter, BJ was, fact. And O got hit with all the shots. And it was just like, damn, bro, it was sad, man. And then T. Roy was like that with him his last little moments. And then T. Roy said that, oh, like, damn, they got me, bro. Like, that was his last words.
Returning to the eyewitness statement, he also vaguely recalled another offender partaking in the attack, but was unable to recall where they came from or where they would have escaped to. Officers would respond to dispatcher's call of a person shot. Upon arriving, the responding officers would discover Odee Perry laying in the street injured by what they believed was one gunshot wound about the right side of the neck, bleeding out on the floor. Medical personnel on the site at the moment sprung into action to save his life, rushing him to Stroger Hospital. The time was counting down on the clock. Odee Perry was literally fighting for his life. Once at the hospital, the attending physician by the name of Dr. Wiley, along with the medical staff, made efforts to treat Odee Perry, who was listed in critical condition. That's when matters took a turn for the worst. What was thought to be only one gunshot wound turned out to be two after Dr. Wiley and the medical staff discovered a second gunshot wound about Odee Perry's left shoulder. They expended every possible avenue to try to preserve his life, but their attempts proved futile. Odee Perry's gunshot wounds became fatal and he was pronounced deceased at 12:18 a.m., August 11, 2011. According to the autopsy, Odee Perry officially died due to multiple gunshot wounds, one bullet entering the front, mid-left side of the neck, exiting near the upper left arm, and the second gunshot wound entered and exited the mid-left buttocks. News of Odee Perry's passing would shake the community. It was one of the first major incidents due to the gang rivalry many young affiliates experienced that time.
You know, when he got, was that just like a huge loss all around?
Yeah, it was. Cause he was like one of our first ones that we lost. Like, we weren't losing friends at the time or losing close ones at the time. So when we lost him, everybody felt it.
It sent shockwaves throughout, leaving scars that some say, to this day, they still struggle with overcoming. Investigators were now tasked with trying to piece together the brazen hit. But what's more, they had to operate with a sense of urgency in the air, as they were fearful of the impending retaliation waiting to happen. Rumor began circulating that Odee Perry's passing was from a rival gang retaliating for the passing of Shondell Gregory, aka Tuka. It's allegedly that, in order to make a statement, they assassinated Odee Perry on Tuka's birthday. Odee Perry's rivals wasted no time setting the trend of disrespecting his passing. Highly respected and now murder gang affiliate FBG Duck often disrespected Odee Perry's along with other lives they claimed. Continuing the taunts, rivals engaged in a remorseless yet popular trend among the gang culture. It was a badge of honor to be the reason that the person that they were feuding with had to change the name of their location. Everyone wanted to take credit for Odee Perry's hit, as if it was a trophy to be won. But the reality is, to them and the lifestyle they lived, it was. The main suspect responsible wasn't even a male, but a woman who was rumored to have earned the name the female assassin, Shakira Barnes. These speculations became even more solidified when she emerged in pictures posing with Odee Perry's famed firearm. More credibility began swirling around from her affiliates, giving her, along with her close friends and partners in crime, Butter, the credit for creating the name oblock. This hinted at the idea that they were involved in Odee Perry's hit. One such gang affiliate went by the name FBG Wooski. Still, it was all speculation, but that would change with the release of official police documents on the head of Odee Perry. Within it, investigators first interviewed Chicago Transit Authority workers. One CTA janitor recalls seeing two male blacks run from the area of the shooting and enter a silver four-door vehicle, possibly a Chevy Malibu or Impala. A CTA elevator repairman who was seated in his truck at the time of the shooting echoed similar accounts as given by the janitor. Neither of the witnesses could pick the suspect out of a photo lineup, but the smoking gun in the case would come in the form of a confidential informant. On August 4th, 2016, detectives would interview a third-party witness to Odee Perry's homicide who stated that he was friends with the killer, who he named as Jakira Barnes, and a new suspect, Rodney Stewart, aka Boss Trell. The CI stated that they were all in the same gang, the Jarrow City faction of the Gangster Disciples. According to case documents, the CI recalled personal conversations he had with both Stewart and Barnes about the homicide, and they both admitted being the ones responsible for taking Odee Perry's life. October 15, 2016. Detectives re-interviewed a past witness at the scene, and he also positively IDs both Stewart and Jakira as the shooter, stating they shot Odee Perry and fled in a silver vehicle.